to another video. This is Chef Dino, my channel Dino Valbone. Today we're going to make sushi rolls. I'm going to show you how I make sushi rolls with very simple ingredients. Of course, we're not going to be using fish and all that, because this is like very basic sushi rolls that you can make at home with some simple ingredients without having expensive fish or worrying about freshness of the fish and all that. So basic ingredients we're going to need is rice. This is Calrose rice. It's different than long grain rice. They're short grain like that. This is what Asian cooking is mostly done with. Okay, so your rice selection is very important. Actually, a lot of good sushi chefs Japanese chefs talk about the rice being the most important ingredient in your sushi. So we have 1 cup of rice here. All right, I'm going to make my sushi rolls with shrimp. Today we're going to make 2 kinds. We're going to make like a California roll, which has no meat in it of any sort, or fish in it of any sort, and we're going to make one with shrimp in it. And I'm going to show you, this is the way I do this shrimp is my own recipe, and I'm going to show you how we do that and how we incorporate it in our roll. You can also use crab. Usually the crabs you buy out there in the store are imitation crabs. They're not really crab. There's something else, they call them crab. If you can find fresh crab, then more power to you. That's the best thing to use. Very simple ingredients here. We have a carrot, we've peeled it, cut the ends. We have a cucumber, we've peeled it. We have some green onion, which we're going to use to decorate the rolls with. We have an avocado. This is from our trees here. We have avocado trees, bunch of them. This is Hass avocado. We get delicious avocados here on our property. I have some radish also for garnishing and decorating. Some of the stuff that you may need that you don't have already at home, and you can find this online, is nori, which is seaweed sheets, I guess. I found this on Amazon. They're pretty good and they stay fresh for a long time if you seal the package. We need some roasted sesame seeds. Soy sauce, I'm sure almost every household has some around. We have some wasabi. Now, when you get wasabi, you gotta make sure it's not horseradish or radish, tainted green, and they sell it as wasabi. You wanna get real wasabi, which is made from the wasabi root, I guess. Again, I buy this from a reputable place online. We have some ginger, pickled ginger. This is my favorite. I love pickled ginger. These hold really well in the refrigerator for a long period of time. You can find this also online. I find almost all of this on Amazon. On this side, we have some mayonnaise, which I'll show you where it comes in. We have some chili oil. Again, I find this online from Amazon, and some sesame oil. All right. So these are just basic ingredients that you can use to make beautiful, delicious rolls at home yourself. It's a great project to do with your kids or family members because it's kind of like an art and delicious, healthy food. All right. I just want to point out that making sushi usually is in 2 stages. At least for me it is. 1 stage is preparing all the ingredients. The 2nd stage is assembling the rolls. So what I'm going to do is, the first part of this video, I'm going to show you how I prepare my ingredients, have everything ready, how I cook the rice and prepare it, because you have to do something to the rice at the end after it's steamed. Of course, I don't have a traditional Japanese rice cooker, so I'm going to show you how I do it at home here with simple stuff. So again, first stage will be preparation of the ingredients. 2nd will be assembling it. And sushi is best eaten right after it's rolled. You don't want to let it sit in the fridge, because the nori, the seaweed, gets kind of rubbery and tough as it gets moist, and sitting in the refrigerator absorbs moisture. Okay, so I'll be right back, and we're going to start by showing you how I prepare my carrots, the cucumber, and the avocado, and the rest of them. Be right back. All right, so preparing the rice. What you want to do, clean water. This is clean reverse osmosis water. You want to get good amount of water in there. My dogs are barking at the kitty outside. This is Callie getting ready for her own sushi dish. What you want to do is you want to polish the rice. That's one of the main things you want to do when you're making sushi rolls or rice for any type of sushi. What you do is, see all that starch, water, we're going to rinse that out. Okay, and then we're going to put some more water. So I'm going to repeat this process a few times. You want to massage the rice like this. Again, that's why it's called polishing it. When you do this, your rice kernels come out so beautiful at the end when you're making your rolls, that I'll show you when we get there. So I'm going to continue doing this several times until the water runs clear. I'll be back when we're done. Okay, so you can see after polishing the rice, we've gotten all the loose starch off of it. That results in getting nice little kernels at the end rather than a big mush of rice. So the water is clear. What we're going to do is we're going to drain the water. Okay, and then we're going to go to our stove now, and I'm going to show you how I prepare the first stage for the rice. Okay, so I got two pots going here. This one we're going to make our shrimp in just a bit. I'll show you how I do that. And there is you have to keep one thing in mind every time you're making shrimp, not just for this recipe, for any recipe. If you're using saltwater shrimp, there's something you got to do when you're cooking it so you don't lose all the yummy flavor of the shrimp, like especially if you're making shrimp cocktail. On this pot over here, I got water boiling. It's about a cup of water. Here's my rice after I polished it. All I have here is water. There's nothing else in there. There is no salt, there is no oil, just plain old water, because we are going to treat our rice with a concoction of white rice vinegar and sugar in just a bit, and that's what gives sushi rice its delicious, yummy flavor. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to lightly stir this. We're not going to stir this too much and too many times. We're going to bring this to a boil. Now if you have a rice cooker, steamer, Japanese style, you can do it that way. If you don't, this is a very simple way of doing it. Results come out similar. You know, of course, everything authentically done is better, but this is a simple way, Dino Valbone's way of making sushi rolls at home. So once this comes to a boil, and I have just about maybe a little bit of water over the rice, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it with a lid. I'll put a paper towel over it. I'll show you how I do that in just a bit to seal the steam, and it'll kind of do the same thing. Be back in just a bit. Actually, meanwhile, I'm going to show you, while this is getting there, I'm going to show you what I do with the shrimp. Okay, so here we have the water for our shrimp. It's boiling. What's important is to add salt to the water because shrimp that's from salt water has saltiness to it. And if you make this shrimp in just plain water, what you're going to do is draw all the salt out by osmosis. And that's going to draw all the flavors out. So if you're making shrimp either for shrimp cocktail or for this recipe, any other recipe, it's very important that you add salt to your water. Of course, we're not going to consume the salt, we're going to discard the water, but your shrimps will come out much tastier. Now these were frozen right out of the bag. I just rinsed it with clean water a few times, and now we're going to go straight right into our boiling water. Everybody knows you shouldn't overcook shrimp because it'll get tough. In this recipe, it really is not that crucial, but if you're having it as shrimp cocktail, it's very important not to do that. Now, this might not look like a lot of shrimp. I'm making rolls for just two, not more. If you're making it for more people, you can do 2 cups of rice and more shrimp. Now, another thing you want to have handy is a bowl of ice ready to go. So as soon as the shrimp gets cooked, where it starts, the water will start boiling again. And right when it starts boiling, you're going to see the shrimp turn nice and pink. The meat will become more opaque, and that's when you're ready to go. And we want to cool it down fast. We don't want to let it sit there, because as it sits there, even outside of the pot, it will continue cooking. So that's why the bowl of ice, we're going to put it on ice. I'm going to cover more ice and put it in the fridge until we're ready to get it prepared to go inside the rolls. Meanwhile, our water with our rice is getting there. You can see we're just getting to that point. I'm just going to give it a light stir. We're just getting to that point where we're going to cover it and let it steam. All right, I'll be back in just a bit and show you what we do next. All right, you can see the water is reduced. You can just now start seeing the rice. What I'm going to do is I just take a paper towel like this and put that like that. The flame, I'm going to turn it down to simmer, and I'm going to let this go probably for about 10-15 minutes. I'm going to time it, and I'm going to just turn the flame off, but I'm not going to open the lid. I'm just going to let it sit there for a bit with the lid on, because it's going to continue steaming. We have our shrimp in the back here. You can see it's just starting to get to that point. So once it's there, I'll be back and show you what we do next. Okay, here we are. You can see the water has come to a boil. Our shrimp have just turned kind of pink and opaque. It's time for them to come off. Take them out of here. Now we're not going to rinse it or anything. It's going to go straight on the ice. Okay, there you go. And we're going to stop it from cooking any further. Our rice is steaming. Our shrimp is cooling down. I'm going to put more ice on it, put it in the fridge. While this is cooling down and rice is getting ready, we're going to show you how I chop up the other ingredients. Okay, we're going to start by the carrot. So I have a whole carrot. The bigger, fatter carrot you find, the better. Easier will be to work. We're going to splice this in half. Now, carrots have a core and the outer layer. We don't want to use the core. Okay, we just want to use the outer layer here. So what I'm going to do is slice this in half, and you can see the core better. So this part we want to omit, and this is the part we want to use. So how do I do that? I'll just put this on its side, come about where I think the core is, right there, so about that thickness, and I'll do that. All right, so if you get a little bit of the core in there, it's okay. And so there's the core. It's gonna go for my parrots. They love it. My dogs love it too. Carrots are a very healthy treat for your dogs. Now, as far as the rest goes, we're gonna splice it really in thin pieces like this. Okay. You can even go back. Now, if you have a device that can shred this into nice little strips, then you can use that too, if you have a tool that can do that. All right, so this is how basically it's done. Again, take a piece, slice it into thin strips. Be careful you don't cut yourself. And that's it. So we're gonna do that with the rest, and I'll be back and show you how I do the cucumber. Okay, so we have our carrots ready. I was informed by my camera lady that this is called julienne. Julienne, not
Julienne, not Anne.
not Marianne, but Julienne. Anyways, thank you. It's learning something new every day. Okay, so now, as far as the cucumber goes, well, you've seen sushi chefs sit there and peel the cucumber. Of course, if you cut it in half, it'll be easier, or if you have a bigger cucumber. This is Persian cucumber. It's not your Japanese cucumber, which is bigger. But this is what I have, and this is what I like. So this is what I'm going to use. I think it's much tastier. Anyways, with the cucumber, kind of basically is the same thing as the carrot. We don't want to use the seeds inside. Now you can see the bad thing about using this kind of cucumber, it doesn't have much of a, it has mostly core, which is seeds, not much of an outer layer. Rind, I guess it would be called. So what we'll do is same thing, just like the carrots, we splice it in half. I am gonna get some of the seeds in there. That's just the nature of the cucumber, that's okay. But I can at least minimize it, okay? So again, I'm kind of going to do the same thing like I did there with the carrots. I'm gonna do this just like that. All right, so the idea is to get as little as of the seeds. We're gonna flip this over. You can see again, right, the line there. Take this out. And now this is the core and the seeds. My parrots, I have two parrots, an eclectus and an African gray. They love this, so nothing goes to waste around here. And of course the peel that we had, peeling this, we gave to our chickens. So we make use of almost everything. I'm gonna splice this in half, and I'm going to, again, I'm afraid to say it because I'm probably gonna pronounce it wrong, but julienne. Julienne. Yeah. Yay. Julienne. All right. I'm gonna julienne this. Well, that's because you're part French. My wife's part French, so it's easier for her. All right. So we're gonna do that. Again, I'm not gonna waste your time watching me do this. You can do this, probably same as me. We're gonna do that and come back and show you what we do next. Okay, so we have our cucumbers ready, carrots ready. Now for garnishing it, and can even use it inside the roll, we're gonna get our green onions ready. What I like to do is get this thin, slimy outer layer off. Even if you lose a little piece of it is okay, see that? You're gonna get that off of there. All right, we're gonna just slice that. An interesting fact here with green onions is this. If you want to grow your own green onions, and you can do this inside your house in a pot, or you can do it in your garden. What you do is you buy a bunch, you take the end piece, these roots right here, if you just put this in the dirt like that, just leave the tip out and just water it, this is gonna grow. And you never have to buy green onions again. In my vegetable garden out there, I have a ton of green onions growing, which I do exactly like that. I just save these ends, put it in there. In about, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks, you have green onions. So as you harvest, if you harvest it and just cut it like this, replant it, you're gonna continue the cycle, okay? So these are good to save and replant. Okay, so my rice was simmering for about 15 minutes. My alarm just went off. I shut that down, just letting it sit there. And now we're gonna just cut our green onions. If you have a really sharp knife, will be very beneficial and easy to do this without crushing it, shredding it. Even though even crushed and shred, it'll be pretty good. All right, so we just want enough to garnish it. Now you can even put the green onions inside the roll. That's another thing you can do. You can just keep this whole, put the whole thing inside the roll, and when you slice your roll, you'll get pieces in there. But what I like to do is just make it like this. I've done that before. It comes out delicious. But whatever your desire is. Now, you can put any type of ingredients you like inside your roll. This is again very basic. Some people use cream cheese, some people don't. Your imagination, you can put peppers in there, you can put whatever you desire. That's the, again, beauty of cooking is that you can really individualize it to your taste. So we got that going, okay? We have our avocado. I'm not gonna cut our avocado yet because it'll get oxidized, it'll get dark. but when the time comes to assemble the sushi, we will. Basically, we're just gonna cut it in half, remove the seed, slice it in the skin, and we scoop it out of there and use it. So we're gonna put that right there. I'm gonna put my green onions right here. I always have to spill things. I don't know why, but I guess it's a sign of a great chef. All right, so we got that getting ready to go. Now we have our radishes here. So the way I do the radishes is this. I have this garlic press, all right? And I have this one part that slices the garlic. So basically I'm gonna just slice my radish in half. I'm gonna go in there. And voila. I get these beautiful slices. Now, if you want to shred it a little bit further, you can do that again one more time. So it depends on how you want to use it as far as the size of the pieces go. You know, your imagination is, actually we'll do that. We'll go back in and we'll do that one more time. There you go, look at that. So this is again for garnishing. Of course, you can use this inside the roll also. So I'm gonna do a few of these, as many as I need, or I feel like I need. And pretty much, oh, we're gonna have to show you how we do the shrimp. Shrimp is cooling down in the fridge. We'll get it out in just a second and show you how that is done. Be right back. Okay, so we decided to do some slices of the radish and some kind of shredded green onions, carrots, cucumber, and we got our avocado there. Okay, so here's the shrimp. It's been in the fridge. It's cooled down. This is peeled already and deveined, so we're gonna remove the tail. And I'm just gonna cut this shrimp into small pieces. I've made this many times. Comes out really good. Actually, I like it with the shrimp better than with crab, unless you have like excellent fresh crab, not the imitation stuff that most people buy and stores actually sell to people. So that's what we're going to continue doing. We're going to continue chopping up our my mouth is watering just taste one of those. You want one? All right. So I'm gonna do this. You need a little dish here or bowl to put this in. Make sure your shrimp is nice and cold, not still warm. This is like almost ice temperature. I'm gonna continue doing that to the rest of it. Be back and show you how I make the sauce that goes with this. So here we have our shrimp all chopped up. This is where I made a mess. This is where the mayo comes in. You can add it to taste. If you like it light, you can make it light. You can make it heavy. Sesame oil. Don't want to put too much, but don't want to put too little either. I put a little bit of sesame oil. Okay, and one of my all-time favorites in cooking Asian dishes is the chili oil. Okay, this is not very hot, spicy. It's kind of in the middle. So if you like your shrimp like spicy tuna, you can add any type of pepper, like cayenne pepper, to it to make it spicier. I may add a little bit to it. You can add any other spices or herbs that you like to it at this point. There you go. This just the way it is right now. It's delicious to eat. We'll put a little bit more chili oil. All right, so we're gonna just mix this up. You can add more mayonnaise, like I said, if you wish. And we're gonna put it in the fridge. So basically we have this ready. We got our greens ready. Our rice has been steaming, and I'm gonna go over there by the stove, or actually I'll bring the pot over here, and I'll show you what I do with my rice. Okay, before we start assembling this. All right, so we're gonna cover this and put it in the fridge and deal with the rice right now. Be right back. Okay, so we're gonna prepare the rice. One other ingredient I forgot to mention. This is just for making the rice. Also, you can use this to make a pickled cucumber, which I might do that just to have it on the side with the sushi. Is rice vinegar. So here we have a little bit of just white sugar. It's maybe about quarter or half a teaspoon, maybe a little bit less, a third, somewhere between a quarter and a third. So our rice, I haven't opened it. I wanted you guys to see what it looks like when I first open it like that. It's nicely steamed. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna fluff up our rice a little bit, like this. Again, I'm sure if you have a traditional steam cooker, the process is different. We got a nice big bowl. We're gonna transfer our rice. We're gonna try not to mash it. It is gonna get mashed somewhat. That's okay. Okay. Maybe if I had steamed it a little bit less, it would have been a little bit better. But again, my background is not Japanese cooking. If you've read my bio, it's more European, Middle Eastern, American style, but I incorporate all in there. Okay, so here we go. So we got our rice here. As it's sitting there and cooling a bit, we're gonna mix our rice vinegar with our sugar. Now I'm gonna make more than I'm gonna use. Okay, so what you wanna do is you wanna dissolve your sugar. And your rice vinegar. And then we're gonna add this to our rice. And we are going to mix it up. And then just cover it. You can either keep it in the fridge or you can leave it outside, either way, until it's nice and cool. You want it to totally cool down before you start assembling it. So once this is done, we're pretty much there. We're ready to assemble our rolls. I'll be back in just a bit and show you how I add this, and we'll go from there. We have our sugar dissolved. Now we're not going to use the whole thing. You can always add more, but you can't take it out, so I just put a little bit in there. Now what is this gonna do is it's gonna make the rice kind of become more individualized, like how would you say it, separate the grains and take that kind of sticky look away from it. Can't think of the word. All right. So I'm gonna just mix this. I'll do a taste test every. Let's see, let me just make sure. Oh yeah, tastes perfect. All right, I think this is ready to go. As you can see, I use maybe half of that, not the whole thing. We're gonna mix this up, let it cool down, and then when we come back next, we'll be assembling our rolls. Alrighty, this is the fun part. We're gonna assemble our sushi rolls. First, I want to bring your attention to the rice. Check this out. This is what I'm talking about. See the rice, you can see it's sticky, but at the same time, it's not like a clump and like a really, really mushy, okay? So that's what you want. I'm sure this is not perfect. There's a lot of chefs out there who look at that and say, I can do better than that, and I'm sure you can. But this is the best I could do today with what I have. All right, so we're gonna assemble our roll. We have our nori, our seaweed here. When you look at nori, there's two sides to it. There's a shiny side and there's a dull side. When you roll a sushi, you want the shiny side out, dull side in. So we're gonna assemble the ingredients on the dull side. You're gonna wet your hands. I have a little bowl of clean water. My hands are washed clean. So the reason why you wet your hands is so your rice doesn't stick to your hands. And we're gonna start assembling. So first I'm gonna do a very simple roll with the rice inside. And then later we may get a little adventurous and do an inside out roll where the rice is on the outside rather than the inside. Now as far as how much rice, well, you know, it's to your taste. If you like a lot of rice, put a lot. You can just thin it out. If you like little rice, you put little. And you know, you want no rice, well, of course, it's a free country with no rice. Make sure your hands are wet. Now you don't want to get the rice too wet either, because then the seaweed will get wet and it will start sticking to your work surface here. What I have is my cutting board for cooked meat. I've put a saran wrap over it. That way I know it's clean, and cleaning it is easier. Saran wrap has a lot of good uses. It's one of those things in the kitchen that I just absolutely love to use. It's a good barrier for infection control. All right, so here we go. We've got our rice pretty much laid out. Again, you don't have to be perfect, even though that's my sickness. I like to do it perfect, but I'll tell myself always, don't have to be like that. Here we go. So we got our rice on our nori. Now we're just going to start introducing our ingredients. Here's our shrimp. Look at how beautiful this thing is. I'll tell you, it tastes really, really good. All right, so where you put your ingredients is where it's going to end up in your roll. Now, this is the mistake I always make. I get really tempted to put a lot of the ingredients, and my roll ends up being really, really thick, which isn't, I think, what I'm doing right now, but it's okay. Cooking should be fun, like I always say. We're gonna spread that out. There you go. Absolutely beautiful. It smells so good. Now what we're gonna do is start putting our ingredients. Now you see I'm not putting it right on top of the shrimp there. You want to give it a little space, because as you roll it, you're going to get different layers, and it's going to be really, really pretty. When I cut it, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'll put some carrots here again. It's very easy to get tempted to put more than you need, which I did over here. Actually, I think I'll take some of this off of here. We'll put some more carrots, cucumber. There you go. All right. Now at this point, if you had green onions or any other anything else you wanted to include in there, you could. Now we're going to do our avocado. Look at this avocado. Look at how dark and wrinkled it looks outside. Look at how beautiful it is inside. These are avocados grown on our property here at Wild Haven Acres. Make sure you check us out online at wildhavenacres.com, all one word. There is a rescue place called Wild Haven Acres also. That's not us. Make sure you go to the right website. On that website, you can find our famous fig jam. Also, if you search carefully on our website, you're going to see there's a site where we sell t-shirts. And the t-shirts, actually, you can get prints of my original art design. Yes, I do paintings, and all the t-shirts have the original art design by me. So make sure you check it out and order you one. I'll make sure I'll show you my shirts in my next video. So here we go. So we got our avocado. Now we have to make sure our hands are dry. You can use like a bamboo contraption like this to roll this up. Most sushi chefs do, but because I am Dino Valbone and I am an experimental guy, I'm gonna do it free-handedly, okay? So what we do is we take our nori, we roll it on its edge. We want to get as tight as possible. I can already tell this is going to be a little bit fatter than most sushi rolls, but bottom line is how good it tastes. There you go. Now we're going to take a little water. We're going to wet the edge of our nori right here. That's going to be our glue. Glue. Look at that. And that's free-handed. And I have no Japanese blood in me. That goes to show you, as far as I know, you never know. Absolutely right. All right, so here's one roll. It's ready to be sliced and garnished. Well, we're going to put it on our board here, and we're going to set it aside. We're going to cut or prepare another roll. All right, so this next one, I'm going to eat this. All right. Clean this up. Now we're going to do another one. I'm going to do this one inside out roll, okay? We're going to do a little bit different on this one. And you can see how far these ingredients go. You can make many, many rolls. So again, shiny side actually a dull side goes down like that. We're going to wet our hands. We're going to get ourselves some rice. We're going to spread it out. You got to make sure your board is dry, otherwise your nori will stick to it, and will make it a little bit challenging for you to do the roll properly. All right, so on this one, it's called inside out roll because the rice goes on the outside and the ingredients go on the inside. How did I learn to do this? I spent countless hours sitting at sushi bars, watching the sushi chefs. Actually, I had friends, people who I met through my work who were sushi chefs, and I learned from them. And of course, a lot of research on YouTube, watching videos. Again, beauty of cooking is you take what you learn from out there and you make it your own by adding your own touches. All right, so here we go. We got the rice on the outside. I'm gonna wash my hands. Dry hands are important. Otherwise, your nori, as soon as it gets wet, it'll stick. So we're gonna make sure our board is dry here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and flip it over, just like that. Easy. All right, and we're gonna take our filling material. So here's our shrimp. We're gonna put some of our shrimp right in the middle. All right. This is, again, I'm going a little zealous here. Putting maybe a little too much, but it's okay. Again, at the end of the day, it's what it tastes like, not what it looks like. I find just like pizzas, the ugliest rolls are the most delicious. So we'll take some of our carrots and we'll just garnish the sides here. Like that. There you go. We have a request from the camera lady for some green onions. Yes, sir, we're gonna do that. I agree. Because this is going to be inside out roll, we're just going to take the shredded radish, go on top right there, and then we're going to take our cucumbers, a beautiful Persian cucumber. We're going to do that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the avocado on the outside of this one. So I'm going to go even one step further and layer it with avocado on the outside. So now we're ready to roll this in. Here we go. Want to get it as tight as you can. Actually, what I need to do is get my hands a little wet here so the rice doesn't stick to my hands. Just want to make sure we don't get our nori wet. Now, if you use one of those bamboo contraptions, it's much easier to do. But then, you know, that wouldn't make me the Armenian that I am. All right, yes, we Armenians like to do things our way. All right, so we'll go like that. Put that out there. There you go. That looks beautiful. Actually, maybe at this point, I will take my bamboo that has saran wrap on it and kind of squish that in there. There you go. Now, what we're gonna do is take our avocados from Wild Haven Acres, cut them in nice little slices. Just bear with me here. There you go. All right. You can do this too. Just like that. Gonna put another slices of avocado. My wife is dying to correct me there, but she knows I'm just being silly. Yes, sir. And if you mess up, it's okay. It's quite alright. It's not a problem. That's what makes beautiful dishes mistakes. We're gonna do that. Alright, yes, sir. Inside out with avocado there on the outside. All right, so we're going to do that. Again, we're going to take our saran here. You don't even need the bamboo really. Going to mush that in. And voila. You got yourself an inside out roll with avocado on the outside. All right, so we're gonna, of course, garnish this a little bit further. But what I want to do is I want to roll a few more before I garnish it. So this is going to go on our board here. And look at that. And look at how much more ingredients we have left here that we can roll more, okay? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll a few more. And then I'll show you what we have and how we garnish it. We'll be back. I just wanted to show you another variety that you can make. Here's our wasabi. We're gonna get some our finger here. We're gonna just run it across the nori here. Wasabi is kind of strong in taste, so don't want to put too much. Here's what I was talking about. What you can do with this dish is endless. We're gonna put a whole green onion leaf right there, and then we're gonna garnish these. So we got our shrimp, rice, just like that. All right. On this one, more cucumber. So you can see with these rolls, a little bit of ingredients goes a way long way. And wait until I start cutting this and you see the nice little designs that all of these ingredients make. On this one, we'll even put some sesame seeds right there on there. Of course, we're gonna garnish the other ones with sesame seeds. Why not throw some shredded radish on there too. If you let your little ingredients stick out the end here, they look really pretty. All right. And of course, oh, let's not forget the avocado. We're gonna put some more. I have another one here we can finish. Some more avocado. Now this one's gonna be, I'm gonna call this one the fat roll because I think it's gonna be the thickest out of all of them. If you're liking this video, please like and subscribe, comment. When I see people liking my videos and commenting, it makes me really happy. It encourages me to make more videos. Here we go. We're gonna roll this up. Now this one is a thick one, so I gotta make sure I pack this baby as best as I can. And some of your rolls are gonna come out better than others, some worse. There you go. All right. I think these turned out pretty good. We're gonna wet the edge of our nori here so we can get a seal. So our ingredients don't try to run away. Wow, look at that. Okay, make sure your hands are dry. Dry hands are important. That's why you see sushi chefs with a towel behind the counter constantly wiping their hands. I'm gonna sneak that in my mouth. Look at that. It's beautiful. I can't wait until I cut it and show you what it looks like. All right, so this is gonna go on our chopping board. As you can see, we can make rolls, more rolls. Of course, we're gonna cut this and garnish them, and I'll show you what it looks like in just a bit. Alrighty, guys, so this is towards the end, the best part, because we're gonna eat it. We're gonna slice them up. Very important to have a very sharp knife. Make sure your hands are nice and dry. If your knife is not sharp, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna kind of mush them up. You don't wanna do that. Getting your knife a little wet helps that. There you go. All right. I'm gonna show you how beautiful these look. So the way you arrange the ingredients in there determines how it looks at the end. Get a little water on your knife so your rice and ingredients don't stick to it. So, just like that. Just like that. Look at that. Alright, sometimes cutting this is a little bit challenging because they want to fall apart on you. Alright, now we're gonna get our other roll. This is our inside out roll with the avocado on the outside. Let's see if we can cut this without making a big mess out of it. Okay, just like that. Okay, get my knife clean. And that's why you see them do that all the time at the sushi bar. Okay, I'm just gonna roll one over for you to see how beautiful that looks. The nori wrapped inside there. Alrighty, we're almost there. And like I said, this is really fun to do at home with your partner, especially with your kids. You know, what a great thing you teach them. You know, that there's nothing you cannot do. They can impress their friends, and it will carry for the rest of their lives with them. I mean, look at that. Okay, yeah. It's not as good as what you see out there in sushi bars, but, well, depends on what sushi bar you go to. It's probably better than some. But heck, it's not good. It's not that bad for homemade. I'm gonna cut this one. This one's the one that had the green onion in it. See if you let your pieces stick out like that at the end. That's how pretty they look. All right. that. Okay, I'm gonna kind of keep them separate so I know which one is what. And we can even leave one of them standing up like that. All right, so let's move this over here, move this guy over here, this here. Now, how do we garnish this? Well, you know, as your heart desires. So what we can do is, here's our green onion. Now this first batch didn't have green onion. So you can take some green onion here and put it on there. Come on, baby. All right, just like that. See my chopstick chopping is not that. You can even take a couple of pieces of those carrots. All right, we can take some of the radish and put it on the pieces that didn't have the radish in them. So I'll just use my hands. Don't need to impress anybody here. Some more green onions. Like that. The other ones have green onions in them, so we're not gonna mess with that. We're gonna use some of our chili oil. All right. I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of chili oil. Maybe not on all of them. I had a yeah from the camera department. We'll do on some of them. Of course, sesame seeds. Every time I go to the sushi bar, I tell them extra sesame seeds. Okay. Actually, what I like to do is turn some of this inside out rolls over like that. All right. Do that. Now, if you had fish eggs or a roe, you can put on there. But this is a pretty fast way of making great sushi at home. Of course, we cannot forget the pickled ginger. Pickled ginger, put some on the side here. There you go. Take some of our wasabi, put it all over the place for us to be able to grab some, and voila. Alrighty, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was fun making it. It's gonna be even more fun eating it. This was kind of quick and fast. I've made this dish before, which I spent a lot of time making it much prettier. I'm gonna post some pictures for you to see of those plates I've made in the past. When my vegetable garden is doing good, I use a lot more ingredients like peas, snap peas. You can use the leaves. You can decorate this on the outside, inside. I've done that. I'll post some pictures of that. I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna eat it. Alrighty, live, laugh, love. Like and subscribe. Make sure you check out our website, wildhavenacres.com. Check out the t-shirts with original art by me. Check out our fig jam on wildhavenacres.com. Order some. I will see you in my next video. Live, laugh, love. Be kind to animals. Be kind to each other. Be the change you want to see in the world. wasabi and the soy sauce. Okay. Check this out. Oh my God. Delicious. Must try recipe. And if you did everything right, this is what your plate should look like. All gone.